I'm gonna give my honest opinions here. Nintendo is my favorite game company, but I'm not gonna be delusional, okay? I'm gonna keep it honest. This is my launch day Switch from 2017. The battery has degraded so much it dies at 80%. I am beyond ready for a new console. Let's get some of the tech specs out of the way. Yes, Nintendo is finally in the 4K space. 4K 60 and 1080 120 were consistently referenced, and I noticed that there was also a quad HD mode, 1440p. In handheld mode, we get 1080p 60, and it also supports HDR. The physical Switch itself has a cooling fan, improved speakers, and dual USB ports too. It has 256 gigs of onboard storage, and it will only work with micro SD Express cards, so the ones that are probably in your Switch won't work. And the Joy-Cons themselves have a new mouse functionality, a new Pro controller is coming out, and a C button on both of them? We'll cover that here in a few. So let's talk about the first title that we saw in the first trailer, Mario Kart. And this is Mario Kart World, which is an open world style Mario Kart where you can drive anywhere. We saw a lot of the beloved characters that we know and love, and we also saw a cow from Moo Moo Meadows. That was a decision. In each race, there will be 24 drivers, so that's gonna leave a lot of room for chaos. Ooh, it has a $80 price tag. Hi, post-production Dante chiming in here because I don't feel comfortable exporting this video without addressing this, because in the video I kind of glazed over it. I noticed that Mario Kart is $80 for the digital version, $90 for the physical. Like, on one hand, of course, I understand that the games have progressively gotten more expensive because there's higher like costs and all that stuff, and like there's just more that goes into them now. But at the same time, $90 is kind of insane. I knew we were gonna get here at some point, but I didn't, especially for Mario Kart. We'll talk more about it at the end of the video. There's gonna be a mode where you can free roam with other players and just kind of drive around the map, but there are also gonna be sprint races. Honestly, it's giving Forza Need for Speed energy. Mario Kart's formula has been absolutely great because it's a racing game, but I think it is long overdue with the refresh. So there are new mechanics in there. I noticed there's like snowmobiles and there's like, you can grind on the rails and stuff. Like, there's gonna be some new things that I'm sure we're gonna find out in the future, but the first peek of this game looks really promising. And one thing that was demonstrated with this Mario Kart game is the new voice chat features. It is about time. On the Switch, you had to use your phone and use the Switch Online app, and you could only use voice chat in like a select few games. But now it seems like it's going to be a native integration with the Switch itself. There's a mic built into the system itself that can be used while handheld as well. And you can do things like share your screen with people. There's also a camera feature and an option for a green screen. We got Switch 2 Zoom calls in 2025. Before GTA 6. In my opinion, this was long overdue, and the fact that this can be done just natively in the console itself is great. Whenever I bought my PS5, I actually didn't know that you could voice chat with people just using the controller, that there's a mic and a speaker in there, and it didn't sound bad.
Oh my God, he's a father. How are you up there? Is this real? What is happening?
I'm curious to see what kind of quality we get here, as well as battery life. And one of the big questions I have is, will there be lag while this program is running while you're playing a game? The Switch isn't a console known for great multitasking, let alone just like launching the eShop reliably. I'm curious to see how this pans out. Will there be camera integrations for a future Ring Fit adventure or Wii Fit game? Only time will tell. The Wii Sports of the Switch Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour releases on launch day as well. And honestly, it just looks like an instruction manual with extra syllables, and it's gonna cost money. It's weird to me that it's gonna cost money because Wii Sports, I mean, that came included with the console. And then if we're talking about Astrobot, I know they think it shows off the technical advancements of the PS5 controller that was pre-installed on the console. So, really, Nintendo? Anyways, the next point, I'd love to know your thoughts because I have some opinions on this. If you own a Nintendo Switch game, there are going to be Nintendo Switch 2 versions. These new editions will have upgraded graphics, exclusive features, and be designed to run better on the Switch 2. So we finally won't have lag when running through Korok Forest, hopefully. For example, Super Mario Party Jamboree has new modes and mini-games on the Switch 2 edition. Breath of the Wild plus Tears of the Kingdom will have Switch phone app integrations that'll help you find Koroks, have voice navigation, things like that. And I mean, it's kind of gimmicky, but for like 100%ers that like don't feel like searching everything, that's actually pretty cool. Metroid Prime 4 will have enhanced graphics and mouse control options, which is super exciting to see for a shooter. Pokemon Legends ZA. Scarlet and Violet were, in my opinion, embarrassing as a modern Pokemon title. For a billion-dollar company to make a game that has such horrendous lag, awful pop-in, straight up glitches, just playing the game normally as intended. It just felt like so many detached pieces that were not a cohesive package. It just felt like fragments that were just kind of glued together, and they were like, here's a Pokemon game. Legends ZA will have improved graphics and frame rates, and Pokemon, if you mess this up again, it's not the hardware, it is you. Don't know how else to say it. And if you want these upgrade packs, you have to, again, pay real life money for these. Real life money in this economy. Paying to play games that you already have, which is something that is I'm so over this kind of stuff. There was no price given. You can speculate in the comments. That's where I'm going to be putting my guess. We also have a new IP, Drag and Drive, a 3v3 sports game using the new mouse controls for the Joy-Cons. Y'all remember ARMS, that gimmicky game on the Switch that Nintendo kind of forgot about and didn't update much once it dropped and didn't provide much support? And it felt kind of like an incomplete game at launch. And then despite all these things, it still has a cult following to this day. This is going to be another ARMS, isn't it? I hope it's not, because I high-key think it's fire that we have a wheelchair-based sports game. That whole premise is sick. It's also featuring a new style of controls, which, I mean, Nintendo just be innovating, so I'm excited to see that too. There's a new Hyrule Warriors, this time featuring the imprisoning war timeline that led to the Tears of the Kingdom. It's a hack and slash, and low-key, I'm kind of prequeled out, if I'm being real. Like, I didn't even finish the first Breath of the Wild Hyrule Warriors game. Like, it's just sitting collecting dust in, actually I archived it because I just lost interest. Virtual Console is back with exciting news. GameCube titles are coming to Virtual Console exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2. Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX were the ones that were shown first, with higher resolution and quality, so that should be better. It's cool, but I've played Wind Waker on my GameCube, then the Wii, then the Wii U. Honestly, I'm good at this point. Give us the harder to get games. Give us the games like Super Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Kart Double Dash. Soul Calibur 2 is a fire game though, and I still have the physical disc copy that I do play every now and then, so anyone can get these hands. I'm not going to focus as much on the specifics of this next section, but I do think it's worth mentioning that there are a lot of launch day third-party titles, and you can tell a lot of repurposing was done by many developers for this launch. We saw titles like NBA 2K, Elden Ring, which I noticed had some stutters in the trailer. I peeped that at the very beginning. Madden is coming, Hogwarts Legacy, Cyberpunk 2077, didn't expect to see that. Final Fantasy VII Remake, but also I think it's a good sign that at launch we're seeing this many third-party developers placing their software on this console. Speaking of cool GameCube games, Kirby Air Ride is back, and it's a new title directed by Sakurai, and I have high confidence for this because he loves Kirby so much that I know that there's going to be a lot of love, care, and attention to detail put into this game. I don't know, low-key the trailer though kind of threw me off because it was just Kirby at first with his Warp Star. So I thought it was going to be a new Smash Bros, which I don't even know how I'd feel if there was a new Smash Bros announced right now. Air Riders is going to be sick. For those of you that were fans of Mario platformers, Donkey Kong Bonanza, launch date of July 17th, 2025. And that initial new DK design that we saw in the very first Switch trailer and the Mario Kart teaser, it finally comes into fruition in this video. It looks like Mario Odyssey, but with more room for destructive, impulsive thoughts, and with Donkey Kong. I'm excited for this because Mario platform games have always been innovative, and this one looks super dynamic as well. So the price and the release date details. Drum roll, please. So the release date is June 5th, 2025. That's 2 months away. And there are two options for this. The Switch 2 console alone, which is $450 USD, and the bundle that comes with Mario Kart World, which will be $499 USD. If you want to pre-order a Nintendo Switch 2, listen up, the instructions are a little detailed. Nintendo has a specific website, which I will put below, where people with a Switch Online membership can submit interest in it and choose which option they'd like. The first batch of invitations will go out May 8th, 2025, and there will be subsequent waves of emails after that. The emails are based on a first come, first served basis. Upon receiving it, you have 72 hours to complete your purchase, and if you don't do it, well, GG's. And there are people that are given priority for these. You must have paid for the Nintendo Switch membership for at least a year. You need to be the account holder, as well as opt in for the public gameplay sharing and logged at least 50 hours of gameplay, which that's not a lot of gameplay time. Like, honestly, you could knock that out just this weekend, bro. Let's have the conversation. We're at the end of the video, so we can talk about this. It just doesn't sit right with me how many things are being charged. Like, if we recap this video very quickly, you have to pay for the upgrade pass for games that you already have on your Switch. You have to pay for the instruction manual, despite there being full-fledged software, award-winning and like core memory softwares. Like, who doesn't remember Wii Sports? Core memory software is being developed and given with the console. That's a whole thing. yet you have to pay for this one. And then on top of it all, the price of the console price, I can understand. Okay, $450. I think you're getting quite a bit of bang for your buck. And honestly, who's buying consoles that fast anyways? Like, it's going to be something that should be super approachable over the course of an 8-year life cycle if you're playing for a Switch. But what doesn't quite sit right with me is the $80 to $90. $80 for a digital and $90 for a physical. Are we seeing the end of free software coming with consoles? Like, I mean, the PS5 had Astro's Playroom, which was a phenomenal game that actually warranted a game that followed up with that, and then it won Game of the Year, rightfully so. It's a fantastic, phenomenal game. Even though I am excited for the Mario Kart game, and I'm going to buy it, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I'm super pumped. The $80 to $90 price tag is not something that I feel like we should be jumping up and down about. And I'm not gonna feel fantastic knowing that I almost have a 3-digit transaction for one singular game. Maybe this is a topic for another video, but let me know your thoughts. So that's where we're at for right now. Comment below your thoughts. I'm gonna be sharing mine down there. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get back to my OG Switch and enjoy the 10 minutes of playtime that I can actually enjoy it for. While you're hitting subscribe and commenting and all that stuff, let's talk about the Joy-Con drift for like 10 seconds. They need to make these better. This, like, honestly, I feel like we don't talk about the Joy-Con drift enough. They had a program and everything, but it needs to be better. Get better.